So I've decided to go a slightly different direction than with the standard ME 1.5.5 ECU. I did plan to run that, but I've had a change of plan, so I've sold that setup, and I've gone for a standalone system, and it's in this box. As you can tell, it's very small. I'll show you what I've got. So effectively, this is a Speeduino UA4C. For those that don't know what it is, it was a ECU developed probably about 3-4 years ago by a guy in Australia called Josh Stewart. It's open source, very similar to what Megasquirt was. It uses Tuner Studio. It's effectively ran by a Mega 2560, which is this board here, which is kind of like a Raspberry Pi. It's got 4 injector outputs, 4 ignition outputs. You can do VVT, you can do boost control, launch control. It's got wideband, an internal map sensor. As you can see there, it's got internal barometric sensor, which is there. So yeah. So here it is out of the box, very small. As you can see, UA4C, I call it a CFOX, but it's designed by WTM Tronics in the USA, but made for Speeduino. So it's all, kind of computer mounted PCB. It's not, you can buy them in kit form, but this is already assembled. I'm just waiting for the case to turn up. There's the VR conditioner there for the crank sensor. Yeah, it's a very kind of, for comparison, is my hand, very, very small ECU. As I said, it's kind of open source, not that well known, but for what I wanted to do and my kind of want just to tinker, really, this gives the opportunity for me to do that, and see what I can do, basically. Instead for what it cost me £150 delivered. Yeah, it's pretty good, really. So we'll see what I can do. So just some of the settings. So I've got a UA4C, 2 squares per cycle, alternating, 4-stroke, 4 cylinders, port injection, number of injectors, even fire. So again, very simple to set up. It's got, it's not as kind of advanced as the Megasquirt, but then you don't pay 600 or so pounds for the MS3. For what I want it to do, it'll do more than enough, really. As I said, it's still being worked on. And as I said, it's been open source, so people are adding new things. The latest firmware was February of this year, and every few months they release a new bit of firmware. So yeah, that's it. So it's a Speeduino UA4C. So to enable me to run the Speeduino ECU, I've converted to a cable operated throttle. So this is from a Vauxhall Vectra X20 XEV, so the normally aspirated essential version of this engine. So I've got that with the 2-pin speed control valve, so that'll be controlled by the ECU as well. So yeah, it's should be fairly decent. So as I said, I've got effectively you just need this, which is cam sensor or crank sensor, cam sensor there for sequential, but it will run off just a crank sensor alone. Yeah, so the plan is just to use this kind of wiring, cut away this MAF sensor and the push control solenoid wiring. So I'm just playing about. So this is a Vauxhall Vectra, or Vauxhall Amiga, effectively, coil pack, which essentially bolts right up, fits there. So I'm just kind of playing about really. I've got a shed load of stuff here. So again, we've got the standard Astra VXR or Z20 LET Astra GSI coil pack. Now the ECU will run this. Standard ECU runs it sequentially. 6 pins, so you've got a ground, 12 volt positive, and then the individual outputs 1, 2, 3, 4 for the cylinders. So I could run that. I've got a Ford Delphi coil pack. This is a dumb coil, which effectively doesn't have internal drivers. So if I am going to run this, then I need to get ignition drivers or ignition amplifiers to be able to run this with it. ECU, so it's probably not an option. Bundles of these, and then I've got some Bosch Audi VAG coil and plug. So these are smart coils, so ECU will run these. Slightly higher than what I want. Slightly higher. You can get short versions, but I am able to run those. But as I said, I'm going to have a play about with it. At the moment, I just plan to run it with a coil pack instead of HT leads. Run it wasted spark, tune up, have a power run, and then convert it to sequential, and then we'll have a play and see what's what. So that's it. It's effectively it, really. The main reason for changing to the standalone ECU is that whilst it is very easy and the maps are relatively easy to upload, and the fact that any decent tuner is probably 7-8 hours away from me, doesn't really appeal to me anymore. I used to travel all over the country. Actually drove to Cumbria, which was a disaster with one of my old cars, and that didn't work out too well. So effectively, over the last few years, I've kind of learned to map things myself. Not fantastic by any means, but certainly, if anything does go wrong, I have myself to blame, and that's perfectly fine. I don't enjoy giving anyone any money, certainly for some of the services I've got. I'm certainly not interested in travelling 8 hours, or 7-8 hours, to any of the decent, reputable Vauxhall mappers. And then obviously you've still got the issues, the inherent issues that will happen with MAF sensors, lambda sensors. There's so many sensors on the standard engine that effectively could and do go wrong, which then cause running issues. You've got pressure sensors, you've got barometric sensors, which again can play havoc. It does have electronic throttle, which is great, but as I said, we're going to convert to a cable throttle, standard TPS potentiometer, and give it a go and see how we get on. As I said, it's something that I enjoy tinkering about with. Probably enjoy tinkering about rather, more than driving them really, but that's what I'm planning to do. So over the next few videos, we're going to be kind of modifying this end, cutting this plug off, and then removing what we don't want, and then wiring the Speeduino ECU. Said a lot of these wires will come out. Oh, I need to solder that back on. That was part of my testing to calibrate the standard Bosch coolant temp sensor. So I just cut it off while I was testing. So I just need to really that there, wire it back into there, solder it back onto there. Sorry. So yeah, that's it. It's a bit of a change, but one that should be fairly decent. So I will catch you later. As you can see, that is boiling away. It's a bit of error there. That's saying it's 99.2, 100 degrees. That's saying 192 ohms. So given another 1 degree, I'd say that would be, it's close enough. So 191. So yeah, we've got our readings. Now I just need to put it in the freezer to get it down to 0 and let you know what it is. So yeah, quick easy way to calibrate or verify the resistance of your temperature sensors and there we go. Cheers. So as you can see, we're 83 degrees. We're at 306 ohms. So I'll just calibrate as that comes down, 83. That should start going back up. .6, slowly coming down. 1 degrees, 310. So 315, 316 ohms. So now, I'm just trying to calibrate the coolant sensor. Now, the closest one I could find within the Tuning Studio software is Saab Bosch type. And then the temperature ranges. For 0 it's 5,800 ohms, 80 degrees is 320 ohms, and 100 degrees is 180 ohms. So I haven't got a Saab Bosch one, I've got a Vauxhall stroke GM Bosch type sensor. So I'm trying to figure it out. So I've rigged up the sensor, got a thermometer, so currently we're at 83 degrees. I've measured it previously, I just want to double check. 285 ohms is 80 degrees, 100 degrees gave us 190, room temperature 29, 30 degrees was 2.30. So we're at 81 degrees. If I can get my sausage fingers in it.